Let's say we have 6 months of savings, right? What should we do with that money? Should it just sit in a bank account, maybe a high yield bank account?
You already see.
I'm just making sure I'm doing the right thing.
You're doing. If that's what you're doing the right thing.
This is for everyone listening, but also very much for me.
No, high yield savings account is one of the best places that you can stick that. And I mean, high yield savings account is just a savings account that pays a higher interest rate. But yeah, I think there's a temptation sometimes though for people to be like, well, let me just invest this. It's just money sitting here, thousands of dollars. Maybe I should make a little bit more on it. And I would caution people against that, just because if you need the money in a moment where the stock market, like for example, 2020, stock market crashed, you're pulling out your money and you might be potentially losing money as you're selling those stocks off to get the cash. So for me, that chunk of money, I keep it safe. High yield savings account and a bank account that's FDIC insured, meaning that you will have deposit insurance up to $250,000 to protect you in case the bank were to fail. So those are make sure it's one of those banks. There's a lot of savings accounts out there that you can find that aren't FDIC insured, and there is a risk that if the bank fails in those situations, I mean, you'll probably get your money back, but there's a chance you might not. So always double check that where you're putting large sums of money into a bank.
And is it fair to assume that like the big banks all are
FDIC?
Yeah, that?
Yeah, so it's Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, I believe.
So in other words, the Chases of the world, the Wells Fargos, the bigger banks most likely have that.
Yeah, bigger banks, smaller banks, your online banks like your Ally, your Marcus, there's a bunch of those smaller ones too. Because most banks you go to and you open a savings account, you're going to be covered. But always just double check, because there are some out there that look like what you would think is a normal savings account, but they don't have that backing. So yeah, just be safe.
Okay, sounds